Hello, my BMX friends. Welcome back to another episode of KANODE Knows, brought to you by Dig BMX. This week on the show, we got Reed Stark. You already know who he is, and he's You Scared Stiff on Instagram. Reed is spreading joy throughout the world. That's that's so goofy. I love Reed Stark, man, and we had a brief conversation, and he's definitely going to come back on for round two. And we talk a lot about the BSD video that just came out, Cliffhanger. That was a banger. If you haven't checked that out, go watch it. I think it's on Dig's YouTube channel, so go check that out. And if you didn't know, Reed had a lot to do with putting that team together and putting that trip together and putting that video together. Shout out to Trent Lutzke for editing it the way he did. I loved it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. Before we get into it, make sure that you smash that like button, hit subscribe, help Dig's YouTube channel grow, help my YouTube channel grow, share the show with a friend, leave a 5-star review. Excuse me. And if you want to start getting a little bit healthier, start implementing raw superfoods into your diet. Go to rawlife.com, use the promo code KANODE and get yourself 15% off of their green superfood powder. You just take it once a day, add it in. You could still eat like crap if you want to, if you're addicted to junk food, but just adding one little thing can start the trajectory of getting healthier. I lost 80 pounds over the course of 3 years and never have felt better, and raw had a big piece to do with that. And it's owned by local homies, John Mata and Joey Mata. So yeah, support raw. That's it. Here's Reed Stark. Let's go. Reed Stark. Oh, shit, that's loud. Okay. What's up? I'm Glenn PP Milligan, and welcome to the Big BMX Show. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I like that. I like Glenn Milligan. Hi, Reed.
Hey. How's it going, Bobby?
Hey.
Hey.
What you been up to today, man?
I've just been working on this Try Again trip.
What's that?
I started a nonprofit recently called the Try Again Foundation.
Sick.
Yeah, so we're bringing out a rad crew of different people who try again in different industries, like skateboarding, scooter, rollerblade, BMX, music. Bringing them all on this little trip, and we're doing this crazy like challenge themed video piece.
What? That's dope, dude. Try Again Foundation. What sparked this? Why is it called Try Again?
So I've been throwing I've been throwing jams for like a while. Like BMX jams. And then I like integrated kendama into them. And then we did one in Denver recently where I integrated like having like a DJ there. And I've found BMX and kendama and all the things that have like normalized failure for me, like all the different activities I've done in my life have been kind of the most important for me, like building like who I am and how I deal with life and making sure that I like keep progressing and keep trying. And I think it's like one of the most fundamentally like, I don't know, important things to do with your life is to try again until you get up. And there's a lot of like people who don't try again. They don't do activities or know how to do activities that enforce that ideology.
For real. A lot of people don't have the mindset that comes from failing at something, but then knowing that if you keep trying, you'll eventually get it. Like you have to suck until you don't suck. And shit. Like kendama is probably the most humbling one.
Oh, exactly. I mean, dude, BMX just eating shit all the time for sure. Like the same thing. BMX, kendama, skateboarding, we're all the same. And yeah, I just like wanted to figure out a way to like encourage more people to do that. So the plan with it is to like get sponsors to donate either product or money and go to skate parks and throw music events like for the day and bring a bunch of bikes to give away, skateboards to give away. I mean, eventually I could picture like building like a mini rock climbing wall, have like DJ tutorials or music making tutorials and like teach communities how to use the tools and then give them tools to use them or
That's
to do
so dope. And then just get people, like show people in a local community that there's activities that you can do that kind of give you like subliminal life lessons, Yeah, that's great, dude. I love that.
So it's I don't know where it's gonna go, but I got the 501c3 sorted. Got a nonprofit banking account yesterday. So
Nice.
ready to take donations now. We threw our launch jam in New Orleans last month. And yeah, it was sick. Just had a bunch of people come out, ride, skate, scooter,
Dude,
do
that's
whatever they
super
wanted to
sick.
do. Went and had a little street jam and ended at a little like after party spot.
Briefly, what is a 501c3 and how hard was it to set it up?
So my girlfriend Koshi, she actually did all that stuff. She's done all that logistical stuff. But yeah, it's just you have to prove that you're doing something for not for profit. It's just a not for profit, not non for profit organization rather than an LLC.
Okay, dope. Yeah.
So just giving back, and it's the benefit is for like sponsors and stuff is they can donate money and it's a tax write off for them.
Yes, that's huge.
So
Yeah, and then
like a
that's a
great
perfect pitch.
yeah, it's a great way to like bring in, profitable businesses and bring them in to actually like help the world and make the world a better place through
That's
the
like a
product.
win-win-win. A company donating bikes gets exposure and a tax write-off, and you get to provide a cool experience to local. Dude, that's so sick, man. I had no clue. That's badass.
Yeah, it should be sick because we're
Yeah.
just starting off, but I'm really excited about it. It's definitely a big passion project. I knew I want to do something like that for a while, like trips and jams, dude. Like, how do we make this? And like, I think the sickest thing is being able to like take pros in all these different industries on trips to go and teach and do their thing and actually pay them properly
Yeah,
to
that's
just
amazing.
go and share these experiences with communities of people who would never really find out about BMX. Like I couldn't imagine who I'd be if I didn't find out about BMX
Right? Yeah.
and kendama.
Yeah.
So thinking like, man, if we could be like a power in that way of bringing that to the world, and I don't know, I think
I love that. So I was just watching. All right, so if people don't know, you and your brother had a squad called Team Dilly, and there's a full length video called It Do, and I just watched your section from that, and you're just a young kid. How old do you think you were then?
I had clips in there when I was 14.
Amazing,
That's my
dude. And
youngest was
you're rocking
14.
Hooper shorts, dude, and the style back then, and just that's the beginning almost, you know? That's
Yeah, it's
wild.
like 14, 15, and 16, I think were the filming years for that video.
So after, wow, dude, because you were tall as shit too, man. 14, 15, and 16, you're a giant little kid. And it's kind of
So
wild to think how far you've come from there. How old are you now?
30.
Fuck yeah, man. Dude, that's unbelievable. I guess while we're on the beginning topic, I'm curious about how you got into BMX. Like how was it introduced to you from your brother maybe?
Yeah, so I actually, well, this dog, I'm in Denver right now, and this dog's going crazy. What's up, Marley? So yeah, I actually started out rollerblading. Some neighbors across the street, they rollerbladed. So my brother and I got rollerblades one year, I think for Christmas or something like that. And we both started rollerblading and went to the skate park for like a year or two or something like that. And then my brother ended up like quitting rollerblading and got a BMX bike. And he was like, "Oh, this is way doper." And I kept rollerblading for like maybe like 6 months, and then I was like, I gotta follow my brother, dude. I gotta get a BMX bike.
Did
So then
you
I got
give me the name of it? Dude, I just watched a couple of like pro rollerblading videos the other day and it's nuts. It's kind of like weird cuz it looks like you're just jumping onto things, but like I can kind of imagine how difficult some of the like precise grinds are, and doing like 540s out of a 20 stair rail is unreal. I got
yeah.
respect for rollerblading. It's kind of wild. Were you able to like grind handrails and shit when you did it, or just
I never
cruising?
did street actually, but I like, dude, I remember I like dropped in fakie on vert ramps and shit on
Woo!
rollerblades. I remember I did like McTwist, I think. So that's like
Nice.
yeah, kind of like a flip 180 thing. Yeah,
That
just
is
like
wild.
a bunch of different grinds and stuff. And yeah, I was super into it, man. I loved it. And
That's
then
badass.
once I found the bike, I was like, dude, this is so much sicker.
Yeah,
Like the bike, you can actually like get around town and
for
kind of,
real. That's a huge plus to it. Like skating
yeah,
around town sucks, rollerblading around town sucks, but a bike is a decent form of transportation. It's our first taste of like, oh, I'm only 15, but I can pedal a couple miles away from my house and it feels like this crazy adventure, you know?
exactly. Yeah. So I started riding when I was 9. Uh,
Wow.
and I had a little 16-inch bike, and exactly what you said, dude. I mean, we built like little like wood kickers in the front yard, just like a couple like 4x4s, and have like a piece of plywood and just rip it into the grass. And
Sick.
then my dad and I and my brother, we started like building like doper ramps. Like we built like a proper like little like 2 or 3 foot tall little box jump thing.
Nice.
And we ripped that thing for a while, and then that turned into like a little like 3 foot tall, like 8 foot wide quarter pipe in the front yard.
Hell
And
yeah.
that was super sick. And then I actually built a little like 2 foot tall like mini ramp set up in the basement, like super sketchy, but like it was like a 2 foot, almost went to like vert nearly. And then
Nice.
the side had like a little vert wall. I think the video still exists on YouTube of me riding that.
What do I search for to find that? Reed Stark in the basement?
Yeah, what is it, man? Yeah, I think it literally is Reed Stark in the basement.
It's interesting to think about because like the when you're that young, your brain is so impressionable. So your first experiences riding a bike and just catching air is like teaching your body how to handle being in the air. Because that's one thing I noticed about you is you're so like you're dialed at pretty much you're all around BMX rider like rails and ledges and shit. But like it's almost surprising how good you are at riding transition and doing gaps and all that stuff and being comfortable in the air. And I think that comes from like being young and not for me, dude, when I was first getting into bikes, I tried to hit some jumps and I felt so uncomfortable. I ate shit one time and I was just like, that's not for me, and I stopped trying. But that feeling of weightlessness has got to feel amazing, and that's a whole different. I was just talking to Corey Walsh last week and I was like, dude, I wish that I could like spend one day being able to ride transition the way you guys do. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a crazy feeling, man. Yeah, I mean, dude, dirt jumps and ramps and stuff, like I don't know, street is so sick for like the creativity of it, and just like it's more of like an art form to me. Whereas
Yeah.
like park and dirt jumps, it's just so fun to ride on a BMX bike. Like the feeling you get when you are actually ripping and land like perfectly smooth into something, like
Yep.
nothing like it.
Like watching they just did I saw Chris Doyle was at some Mosh Posh something Mosh at the Posh, I think was the name of the dirt jump crew jam that happened, and just seeing him like super click 360 invert on a it's just like I can't even imagine how good it feels to make it through a set of trails. Like it's that's gotta be amazing.
Dude, yeah, it's
So
sick. Here, hold on, I gotta put this dog in the other room, dude. He's being
show
crazy.
us show us the dog.
Marley,
Mm,
meet the gang.
oh
Marley.
oh hey Marley. What's up? That looks like my parents' dog. Is it a little shit poo?
I
Shih
don't
Tzu
know what it
poodle?
is. My buddy Hugs, you know.
Get out of here, Marley.
Marley, be crazy.
Trip, come here.
Oh man. It's like I don't really mind the whimpers, but dude, those nails
Oh yeah, that'll get you.
very distracting. Sure it
I
did
was
distract
just over at
me.
my boss's house, and they have this little like one of those little Pomeranian fluffy dogs, and it just yaps at every little sound. Like I that your computer makes a sound when you drag a file from one folder to the other, and it almost sounds like a doorbell maybe, but I'm working and I drag it, and then he just goes ballistic, and then I do it again, and he goes ballistic, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind, dude. I can't handle yappy dogs.
Dude, now you're saying yappy dog, now the dog's yapping. Oh man.
I couldn't hear it, so it's all right if it. Don't worry about it.
You didn't have this problem earlier.
Oh shit. Yep,
Marley,
yep, 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 yep. Where's my dog? Trip, come here, buddy.
please.
Trippo.
You for you, bud. Come and sit next to me. Come and sit next to me. That's disgusting. I just met this dog. Like
Marley.
it's not really my dog yet, you
Come
know
here,
what I'm
dude.
saying? Like
Come here, Trip.
everything's cool.
There he is.
Chill. It's chill.
Come on up here.
I feel like I'm more of a cat person, but damn, I love dogs too.
I strongly disagree. I used to have my first pet for myself was a cat. And then after having a dog for a while, I'm like, this is the shit. But like with your lifestyle, I don't think a dog is a good move because you're traveling and all that shit.
Yeah, my girl has a cat. She had a cat before I ended up meeting her, named Dax. It's a sick little six-toed guy, but yeah,
Six toed? What does that mean?
he's got 6 toes, dude.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, it's called a Hemingway cat, I think it is. Like some
Interesting.
crazy, like all these cats have fucking 6 toes. Actually, one of my cats, Tarzan, growing up, also had 6 toes.
I guess I gotta look into that. I'm curious
Yeah.
about the amount of toes on cats now.
Yeah, no, it's a rare thing, but apparently some have they got the opposable thumbs.
Let's get back to your beginnings. So you're, I guess, just go straight to Team Dilly at Do, and I don't know. You progressed obviously a lot from being 9 and hitting these little jumps and the mini ramp in your garage. But what were some of your early influences? Like what videos did you see? Who did you look up to, if anybody, or was it just like a local scene thing, looking up to your brother maybe? What was
Yeah,
the
dude,
origins?
definitely looked up to my brother. This dude, local dude, Landon Anderson. He's like a dude he had
Yeah.
dread back in the day.
Yep.
Legend, click turn downs. Dirty Dan, Josh Nenza. Uh,
Josh Nenza. I've never heard of that guy.
oh my God, he's one of the best BMX riders of all time. Pretty sure he's up there.
All
So
right.
yeah, Nenza's a legend. Yeah, Jim Reinstra was like a local legend. All those dudes, Ben Polishek. Those are kind of like the local dudes. And then outside of that there's kind of like the standard dudes. I think a good chunk of them rode for standard. And outside of that, like I really liked, I saw like Etnies Forward. That was a big one.
Yep.
Ruben, Taj, Joe Rich, those guys.
Icons.
Definitely some of my favorites. Chris Doyle, definitely
Hell yeah.
right up there. Yeah, just love them, dude. Fuck Van Homan,
Yeah.
like Criminal Mischief, sick video. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say that's a pretty big thing. Road Fools 8 came to Minnesota when I was there, and they went to my local skate park.
Oh, that's got to be trippy or just exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, unfortunately, but like I watched that video a lot.
Yeah, I believe it.
Definitely all the Road Fools. I think that was when I got into Road Fools, but going back and looking at all the old ones. And
Road Fools 8. Is it weird to think about the fact that you might be somebody's, and like that? What I'm trying to think of the word. The first like starstruck thing, like, oh my God, that's him. You're that guy now. It's so trippy to think about.
It doesn't even feel real. I don't even
Right?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one thing you eventually learn is just like everybody is just a normal person. But when you're young, dude, you do idolize and like, oh my God, like wow.
Yeah,
Like my first like freak out was Drew Hostleton. I saw him at a spot and I'm just like geeking out, like, oh my God, is that Drew Hostleton? Is that Drew Hostleton? So cool. He's incredible.
How's he doing, man? I haven't heard that in a long time.
He went to Alaska and started living a mountain man life, and just he's always been like super I don't know the word for it, but just wants to be off the grid, no attention, just make a living and be Drew. I've never met anybody else like him. It's interesting.
I love that.
He's living in Alaska, riding mountain bikes, and I think doing snow sports. And yeah, I hope he's doing well. We talk every blue moon, but yeah, I'll love him forever.
Good man. Yeah, I remember kicking it with you and him back when I was like, dude, maybe like 15.
Yeah, you were a young buck. It's wild. It's wild to see how far we've come.
Filming for the Dilly video, I believe.
Yeah, I was so hyped to be part of Team Dilly. Team Dilly, it do.
They don't think it be like it is, but it do.
That's what it came from, huh? Yeah. I don't think it be like it is, but it do.
Said some baseball player said that.
That's a hell of a quote.
That's a good one.
So we talked about your, icons. Coming of age, like, I don't know, and getting recognition. I want to know what your first taste of like, oh shit, I could, maybe get sponsored or travel, or what was your first ever sponsor and how did it come about?
I think it was Sunday Bikes. Oh, well, actually catfish.com.
Hell yeah.
when I was like 11, Catfish like sent me a like package from like Fly Bikes. It was like he worked at System Cycle, I think it was.
Yeah, DK
so
shit,
like,
right?
Fly Bikes, yeah, DK. Yeah, he like sent some posters, like some grips, some handlebars, something like that. And like a write up like, oh, this Catfish, like you kill it, man. He like saw my videos on the internet, because my brother was making videos way back in the day.
That's fucking awesome. Catfish was your first sponsor.
Catfish was my first sponsor. Believe it or not, dude.
And then How did Sunday come about?
And then Sunday, so actually Sunday came from it too. So that
Nice.
video dropped, and my brother, I think, like talked with Charlie Crumlish about like, yo, we got to get my brother sponsored.
Yeah.
And Charlie hooked it up with Jim Selinsky.
Yeah.
Jim C, yeah, started sending me. That's when they had like the wave frame, I think it was the ones
Yeah.
with the
The little ripples on the bottom.
ripples on the down tube.
Yeah. That
So
was an
yeah,
interesting design. That makes me think of Ian Schwartz right away. And then who's the other dude that was so sick? I think his name is Alex. Can you think of a dude on Sunday that used to ride that frame named Alex and just
Alex Magellan.
yes, that's the name I was thinking about. That dude was sick. I
Yeah,
wonder
he
what he's
was.
up to. Anyway,
Yeah, so then Sunday, then I started getting like a rim hookup from Sun Ringley, and
cool.
that's when I went on the Sun Ringley in the budget trip video. Like that was the trip thing Maloof was filming. We did a
Oh,
road trip
sick.
out to like Ohio, I think, from Milwaukee.
Dope.
Maybe we made it a little deeper. Like, yeah, I think it was Ohio's end. We went and hung out with like Stephen Hamilton. Jeff Downe was on that trip. That was amazing.
Damn.
And one night we were just ripping, partying, and Maloof was like, "Yo, Reed," he's like, "You Wu-Tang this blunt right now, like I'm gonna get you on BSD, and you're gonna get a fucking signature product and a paycheck." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Dude, he's like, if you don't get on, if you Wu-Tang a blunt and you don't get a signature product and a paycheck, like I'll quit." And I was like, "Okay, Maloof," and I fucking Wu-Tang the blunt, and the rest is history, dude. Quit
That's
Sunday.
amazing.
Quit Sunday, got on BSD, and now I've been on BSD for like 13 years.
Damn. Shut up, Maloof, dude, for the Wu Tang. That's amazing. So that's the advice to the kids is if you want to get sponsored, Wu Tang blunts. What is for people who don't know, what is a Wu Tanging a blunt?
So it's Maloof was the first one who told me about it. I don't know where it came from, but smoking a blunt, with a bunch of people, and at one point, when it gets down to like the last little bit,
Yeah.
kind of hit it and like, look at someone and be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Just kind of look at them and just suck it down.
Inhale it.
Just and let go and just suck it down, take it into the gut.
Where does it go? I've always thought that goes into your lungs, but do you
I don't
just
know.
like
I mean,
eat it?
it's probably just like food. Maybe I got a bunch of Wu-Tang blunts in here. I don't know. I definitely did it for a while when I was younger. That was when I was like, I think I was 16.
That's wild, man.
And yeah, Wu-Tang and blunts, bro, is pretty hilarious. I definitely did a few of those in college.
It'll get you to the next level. Speaking of
Yeah.
college, I wanted to talk about because and we've talked about it before. What is your degree in?
So it's actually in journalism, and then I minored in management. But within journalism, I did advertising, like
Nice.
a specific focus in strategic communication.
Do you remember? Is there any big takeaways or something huge that you learned in college that you still apply today, or just kind of a general grasp?
Absolutely, dude. I mean, fucking, I had some crazy, like this one professor, Jennifer Johnson. She was like a crazy creative who worked at all these ad agencies, and she totally like taught my brain how to like think creatively and strategically to like come up with the right solution that's gonna like hit that sweet spot.
Yeah.
I read tons. I chose the perfect degree, man. I mean, I learned so much of like how to like properly think creative, I guess, and like do it in a strategic way. And then minoring management was huge because I learned all the basics of like business management, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
It's like business statistics, accounting, like everything you really need to run a business. I took a class on.
Yeah.
So I use everything. Not everything, but
A
yeah,
lot.
man. Yeah, a lot for
That's
sure.
interesting.
A lot of people get through college like, college is a fucking waste. You don't need it. And I'm like, you probably just chose a shitty degree.
For real. Yeah.
Fucking, you gotta, and that's tough, man. Like, you don't really have, like, you go into college and you don't know what to do. You don't know you're 18 years old. You don't know what you want to do with your life. You know
For
what I mean?
real.
Like, and you just kind of gotta guess. And it's really tough. Like, I had a bunch of friends who, did like followed a degree path for 3.5 years, and then they got to the end of it and they're like, I actually hate this. And then they
That's
just
common.
have to kind of start all over. And I think there's probably a lot of people who go to college and graduate and have a lot of school, like student debt. And don't actually have passion for what they did,
You're just stuck, dude.
Yeah. Only thing I would say is just if you're in that position, just try and think about what you are passionate about. Think about what you genuinely do want to do, like regardless of the money. I saw a lot of people who were like, oh, like I'm gonna get this, so I'm gonna go to this or study this thing. Cause like really learning is great. Like however you're gonna learn. Like if you don't want to go to college, there's a lot of other ways to learn
Huge,
a skill or a craft.
Yep.
Trade school or even just like learning online.
YouTube University, man, that shit's real.
But yeah, just don't do it for the money. Try and think about what you actually want to do because the money will come. Yeah. And if you like what you're doing, then you'll fucking be stoked. Like it doesn't really matter. Like, you'll have enough money to get by. You don't need that much money to be happy.
For real. I think there's like a study about once you pass 70K, I think is the number that was in the study, but happiness increases like as you go from 30K to 40K to 50K to 60K. And then once you make 70K a year, every amount above that, you're not getting any happier. Like you have your basic needs met,
Exactly. I think it's $72,900 actually.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know that exact study and it's fucking, there's some shit to that for sure.
I want to touch on the teaching or you said Jennifer Johnson, shout out JJ, right? Jessica Johnson, whatever her name. Sorry. She taught you how to think creatively. If you could summarize in a nutshell how to think creatively, give me a 2-minute breakdown of what exactly she taught you or what you would teach somebody now on how to think creatively and strategically.
So, man, I mean, she just broke down within like a creative role, there's like a brand who has like a business goal, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's like a whole breakdown of like what does the advertiser need, or what does the consumer need? What is the consumer like looking for? I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this.
Don't be really critical. Just do it. Just talk.
Fuck, man. I pull up my glass nose. I still got them. Yeah, they're like the 5 C's of a creative brief. So it's all based on the consumer. Okay. So really like I focused a lot on like account planning, which is like the actual strategic like onboarding process of like managing a creative, you know what I mean? Okay. To get the right result that's going to accomplish your business goals. And then there's like the creative side of it, which is figuring out like exactly who the consumer is. So like a big part of that is we dive deep into like writing consumer profiles. So we're like, all right, like if you're marketing a product, you don't just like market to everyone. Like that's what businesses always do. They're like, oh, we're a product for everyone. Like KANODE is for everyone. Like, no, it's not. Like this thing is for a specific person. Who is that person? You're not talking to a group of people anymore. You're talking to one person. All right, this is Bob. Bob wakes up at 7 a.m. He listens to this radio station. He shops at this grocery store to prepare this for breakfast. Or maybe he eats out for every day for breakfast. On it, he drives this type of car. He fucking makes this amount of money. Like you break down their entire day and who exactly this person is, and you figure out how to reach that person. Right. And as a creative and like in advertising, if you can figure out how to reach that single person, you end up reaching a fuckload of those people and you hit them with the perfect information. Yes. So like once you figure out who the consumer is, then you can kind of break it down and go back to like, all right, well, what creative do we need to hit them with and when do we need to hit them with and where? So now that we know that they listen to this radio station or they watch this TV channel or they, you know what I mean, whether they use Spotify or they listen to music on YouTube or, you can kind of break down like, all right, now we know we need to do Google ads, YouTube focused, 15-second pre-roll ad. And that pre-roll ad is going to have this on it, and then you go through that process of like developing that actual creative spot, develop, 3 different versions of it, and then kind of spit it out. You brainstorm, give it back to the client, figure out what they want, like which one they're leaning towards. Yeah. And just go from there.
And then split test it and see what works and double down on it. Yeah,
exactly. And I do like digital marketing nowadays. I do like paid Meta and Google ads. So like planning full advertising campaigns and stuff like that.
That's
so dope. I do that shit all the time. Like getting the right creative, like outlining the creative, telling the creative team what to shoot, how to shoot it, what format it needs to be in, to get it back to send on which platform to which person.
Sick.
And if you can kind of figure out that whole process, you can sell shit. Kind
Yeah.
of anything to anyone, you know?
I love that. You mentioned the 5 C's. Do you remember what the 5 C's are?
Fuck.
Pop quiz. Let's go back to college. What are the 5 C's?
Dude, ah, 5 C's. I got them in my Dropbox, dude. I still got
I want to Google the 5 C's of marketing.
Dude,
Context, customers, competitors, collaborators, and company. That could be it.
Sounds almost like it, kind of. Think that there's actually multiple.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different 5 C's.
Yeah.
People love lists and shit. Whatever, let's move on.
Oh, no, let's get it, dude. This is
let's figure out the 5 C's.
All right, I got it. Safari pedals, 5 C's. So the Safari pedals, my first creative project, I actually used my college degree for. I did the marketing plan. I did fucking hundreds of hours of research on plastic BMX pedals, figuring out exactly what the consumer wanted, what they were scared of, and all this shit. And I did projects for these classes for the actual pedals.
Oh, so like you're coming out with your signature pedal while you're in college still, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
That was really crazy. They like everyone, all my professors were like, this is so crazy. We never like teach people who can like use a real brand and like a real product as a thing.
Actually implement it right away.
So it is category. So for Safari pedals, category BMX pedals. Culture. Okay. I wrote, when BMX riders crash, their bike tumbles and critical pedal pins grind off, resulting in a decrease in foot grip. Plastic pedals are seen as a disposable product, but they need to be durable enough to use for the next attempt. Content, third C. Strengths. This is the first BMX pedal on the market with a high quality of pins, along with their unique pin placement. Weaknesses. The market may be reluctant to accept such a unique product due to its odd form, which was true because they kind of look kind of crazy if you don't fuck with them. The 4C is consumer. So this is where like all that consumer insight goes in. The consumer doesn't have the income to be consistently buying BMX parts. When they purchase a product, they want to know it will serve its intended purpose to be durable enough to withstand the abuse of 10 or more BMX sessions. Along the epic journey BMX provides, the consumer accepts that their plastic pedals are going to get demolished when they ride. They just want the product to function as it should for as long as possible.
Nice.
Core conflict.
That's the 5th? Core conflict?
Oh, I guess, yeah. I guess so. I have 6 on here. Oh, yeah. That's the 5th. Core conflict. Consumers want their pedals to grip their feet for as many BMX sessions as possible, but fear that extra pins on the pedal will bring extra pain to their shins. And then I have the core of the idea, which is like kind of just like, I think that's like the culminating thing of the project, not a part of the 5Cs. And the question is, can consumers accept that BSC Safari pedals will bring them the best bang for their buck available on the market?
Sick.
So yeah, it was fucking, yeah, I'm glad I could pull it up right now.
Yeah, that's great, dude.
Did that whole thing and planned out all the marketing for it and everything. And they ended up, I had like a marketing goal and everything to outsell Odyssey Twisted pedals, and they did.
Fuck yeah. I didn't know that. They did.
First order. Yeah. They became like the #1 highest selling pedal in the market. Like,
no shit. Good for you. My follow-up question was like, how did the Safari pedals do? It sounds like they did good.
The Safari, but the royalties from the Safari pedals literally paid for my whole entire BMX travels. Like anything you saw from me for like 6-7 years, it was just from that. Like I had no fucking money after school, and I just like had the royalties from
lived off your pedals.
From the shit that I learned to like
make
products. And I was like, fuck yeah, college works. You know what I mean?
College works. What about your shorty? She's like setting up the 501c3. What was her background?
So she actually did a fairly similar thing, but she did, and within journalism, she did public relations. Cool. And then she was a music manager. So she like booked full tours for a bunch of different crazy artists like Cloud Chord, Sick, like Ableton certified instructor from Austin, Texas. He's super dope. Look him up. He just dropped a new album. And she had like Axel Thesleff and Closey. She was like a big part of Closey's team, like starting out. And that's like a huge bass music producer. Dope. She's from France. So she did that, worked at this like music label agency, something along the lines of that. Did that for bunch of years, then kind of met me. And I was like, dude, like she was kind of like getting stressed out with the job and ended up just being like, I think I need to try something else. So she ended up getting a job at an SEO agency as like an account executive,
Cool.
like in between people doing search engine optimization,
Yeah.
for anyone who doesn't know. Just kind of like making your website keyword friendly for Google. So
Yeah.
people searching for questions can find your shit. So she was
And
like
the
the
account executive is the liaison between the company and the client. So that's a cool job.
So she did that for a while. That was remote because I was really trying to get her to get a remote job so we could travel.
Nice.
She did that, and then we like traveled. We like Airbnb. Like I brought her out to Austin, Texas. I was like, yo, let's go rip. We went to New Orleans for a month. Airbnb hopped like month in New Orleans, month in Miami, a couple months in North Carolina. Then we went back to Tulum and then New Orleans again, and then like traveled around for a bit. And eventually we're like, oh, we got to go back to New Orleans and like live there. So we
He's
signed
Mr. Worldwide. Is that where you live now? New Orleans?
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
But yeah, no, Koshi now works for this sick company called Artifon. So through her music management, through Cloudcore, Derek, he like had some connections at this crazy music startup. It's like a MIDI synthesizer looper, like a beat maker thing, like this big.
Cool.
And it's like a crazy like Kickstarter investment. And yeah, she does partnerships. She's like the head of partnerships for them. So
perfect. That like, that works out with her past experience, and that's exciting, dude. Good for her.
Yeah,
and good for you.
She's been ripping, dude. She's been talking to some crazy clients. Big artists doing like crazy like app work and just
hell yeah. That's exciting shit.
A lot of cool stuff in the works for her. So it's been fun
That's
seeing
super
her
fun.
that.
Speaking of planning shit and making shit happen, BSD Cliffhanger. Right? Cliffhanger? That's the name, right? Yeah, that shit just dropped. I made sure I had a busy ass day. It was yesterday, I think, that it came out, right? Yeah, yesterday. I had a crazy busy day, but I was like, I'm going to take 20 minutes right now and watch this shit. And it was phenomenal. I mean, shout out to Trent he filmed and edited it, right?
Yes, he did.
I filmed in such a fun way. Yeah, everybody gets film.
Yeah, Grant UB filmed a bunch of shit. Dutz filmed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. It's a team effort for filming, but then when you're putting it together, I like what Trent did. Like the attention grabbing, like cool drama at the beginning, and then go to the general layout was very entertaining and kind of it builds and then it goes, whoa. I want to know, what was the highlight of the trip for you? And actually, before we get into that actual video, tell me about the planning of that, how it all came together, whose idea it was, and how many pieces you had to coordinate. Like getting G. Gwendolyn on the trip. I don't know. Gaspar Gwendolyn? Gaspar, he is so fucking sick on a bike, dude. It's unbelievable. The overcrank he did on that setup I was just like, what? So good.
With the perpendicular ledge.
Yeah.
Dog. He's crazy.
Get out.
Yeah, he was telling us too. He's like, he's on that trip. He's like, I don't know. There's a lot of rails in Denver. Like, I don't really like rails. And we're like, okay. And then he just goes and shuts it down, bro. I was like, all right, Gaspar, like, you keep ripping.
I don't like rails, but I'm very good at them.
Yeah, right. I mean, spots are different down in Argentina, man. So
yeah,
yeah, it was sick. So yeah, kind of like, for a while, like we had the whole American BSD crew. Our side of things. And then a lot of the dudes kind of stopped riding as much, like.
Yeah, let's touch on that for a second, because BSD is, overseas and here. And from what I understand, it's almost like there were two different things going on. The American side of BSD was kind of slacking, and the European side of BSD maybe not so slacking. I don't know. It's an interesting dichotomy that you guys got going on.
It's a global team. And Maloof was like the first person on the from America on the squad, so he kind of turned into like the American team manager.
Yeah.
Picked up like a bunch of us, like me, David Grant, fucking oh god, my memory is so bad.
Who else? You guys all came to the Gully House. I remember.
Joey Mata.
Yeah. Legendary.
Jeff Dowen.
Jeff Cadger,
of course. Chris Brown was on for a little bit.
Yeah. Captain Tire Ride.
Yeah, I'd say that was the majority of the crew. Fuck,
I'm sure we're missing somebody and they'll be insulted, but sorry.
I know, fuck, man. Brains all over the place right now,
Yeah.
bro. So that was kind of the whole crew. And then like a lot of those dudes like kind of like got different jobs and started doing different things. Not really being as focused on BMX. And eventually it was kind of just like me. And I was just like going on trips, traveling around. And then like I was in Spain and I was like, all right, fucking met Denim Cox. Shit went crazy with Stranger, like
Yeah, he was on Stranger, huh?
Adam LZ, I think, got on and the whole team
Mm-hmm.
decided to quit pretty much because they just didn't agree with that decision.
Yep.
So I was with him and he was just like, what do I do, dude? Fuck, I don't know. And I've been hanging out with him. He was like the most helpful guy ever. Like someone's bike would be broken, he would just like get up and fix their shit. Like he was just a solid dude to be around,
Yes.
Frame was broken at the time. So he didn't even have a bike. He was just in Spain ripping young Denim Cox. And I hit up Grant. I was like, Grant, we got to put this guy on the team. And he's
Hell
like,
yeah.
are you sure? And I was like, he
More
should
than sure.
fucking team.
Yes.
He is the guy.
Yeah.
Trust me, you're gonna love him. He's the guy.
Yes.
So got Denim on. Great success.
Great success. Yeah, I agree.
Draft pick of the year, dude. Holy shit.
Yes.
And then eventually, Grant's like, yo, Reed, like, you should try and think about like who else to get on the team, like who are some more guys. And then it took like a couple of years, honestly, like of like really like, riding on trips, being on the internet. It's hard to find. Like, it's not like we wanted to like go and pick like some like big established dude. Like we're trying to get some like up and coming rippers who like may have not have like the most opportunity right now to travel and rip and stuff like that. So yeah, it took a bit, and then we were at Swamp Fest, and we did the gap long jump gap to grind competition on the Jersey Barrier, and Trent Lutzke, dude, fucking Trent Lutzke, fucking Lutzke. God, why can I never remember?
I think it's Lutzke.
Lutzke. I think it's pronounced Lutzke properly, but I think he goes by Lutzke.
Okay.
Whatever. But yeah, he tried to gap crank arm this shit at like 20 feet, dog. Like,
wow.
And he landed like 16 feet and he tried it at 20 feet and bodied. And I was like, I was there and I was like, oh man, he's the fucking guy. Oh, before this, we were in Austin and Curly, Jacob Campbell, Curly, Maine. Austin Ripper. So I was hanging out in Austin and I was like, dude, Curly's sick as fuck. He should get hooked up. So we got him a bike.
Dope.
It's like, all right, he should definitely be on the crew.
What's going through your head when you're making these selections? Like you hang out with them, you have to see more than just riding because there's
so much more than just riding. You know what I mean? You got to think about how they behave. Like, do people respect them? Do people look up to them? How do they behave? Like you don't want just some fucking hungry BMX dude who's just like snaking people, trying to one up people and shit like that. You want a cool motherfucker, cool cat who's got good vibes and good energy and like
not a victim. I think that's one of the biggest things that's such a turn off is just when somebody's like, nothing's my fault, everything happens to me, and it's just like they don't take ownership of shit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, man. That's toxic.
Like someone who I look up to, you know what I mean? Damn, like I respect how you run your shit. Like Curly's got a whole like custom paint shop, man. Like
dope.
He's like hand paints like old school cars and shit. Like he's got a whole career, like shit. Like damn, dude, like you're solid. Like you're good. You get life. You're doing life proper. You treat people right. You have respect. People respect you. Like you're someone who should be repping this brand.
Boom.
So yeah, he was one, and then Denim actually was on a trip with Trent. Like they did that like Swamp Fest video, like in between episode where they drove down from Minnesota.
Yeah,
him and Yubi on that trip.
Yeah,
and Trent did that gap crank arm, and I was with Curly and Denim, and we all looked at each other and we're like, "This motherfucker's on.
This is the guy.
Trent's on BSD, dog. Like,
fuck yeah.
Look, like he's trying a gap crank arm on this thing. Like, you crazy?" Yeah. And he just said he was camped with us too that weekend. He had a dope van. Guy with a cool van, also a benefit,
For real.
Got a cool van, cool guy, fucking great vibes.
Can film, can edit, can ride, good films, personality. Edits, love Trent.
And then we asked him. It was kind of weird because like he was already on Sunday, and like, we talked about it, we're like, dude, like Sunday already kind of has like a whole thing going, and like I was like, I don't think that like because Full Factory, like BSD like sells Sunday shit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. It's weird to like take someone from another team, and that can get a little bit dicey. People can get upset. So like that was a whole thing of being like, yo, like this is the best for BSD, which is the best for Sunday. like
Yeah.
overall. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
no one's gonna be hurting too bad here. And luckily they were down. Shout out Sunday for that, and all the guys at Full Factory, they were down with that. And so yeah, we got him on a BSD. Fucking, he was super hyped. And
When
then
is this, do you think? What's the timeline on putting Trent and Yubi on? Maybe 4 years ago? 3 years
Trent
ago?
was the first one. So Trent was only, dude, that was like a year ago.
Oh, no shit. So this is all
Yeah,
very recent.
this
Okay.
is recent. So yeah,
Yeah.
Trent was like a year ago, something like that, maybe a year and a half. So yeah, then Yubi came. We did our Houston trip, the Battle of the Brands trip
Mm-hmm. That
for,
shit was fire.
for Source, and Yubi ended up just pulling up. Trent was like, "I need filmer help. Like, I'm supposed to ride in this video. I need filmer help. Yubi can film." So Yubi just like drove down, drove his camera bag, and just showed up to the house. And I was like, Trent, you didn't tell me this extra guy was coming. Like, I'm planning trips, booking Airbnbs. Like, you gotta fucking tell me. I'm like, Yubi, where are you staying, man? And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I was gonna stay with this other guy." He ended up just crashing with us the whole time. Well,
Nice.
within that process, he ended up being the coolest motherfucker ever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
super, like, just like understanding of the situation. Like, we're filming like a high intense, like high intensity challenge video. We got to get these challenges done.
Yep.
And like, he would want to ride spots, and he would wait till everyone rode, and like we were kind of chilling, and then he'd like get his little clips here and there. And I was
Yep.
like, this motherfucker's
Respect.
cool. Like,
He knows what's up.
he knows how to handle himself. He can read the room.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, it was kind of a no brainer. You know, like I talked with Grant about it, and Grant Smith, and he was just like, "Oh fuck yeah!" Like
Let's go.
sick rider, sick guy.
And he's never not smiling, dude. I love Yubi. It's so
He's the
contagious too. Yeah.
happiest guy ever, dude. Both of them, man, they're fucking just great additions. And so
Because
now we got our own little crew. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
for real, the
And
American
and
squad.
then this unfortunately Curly wasn't able to come. I think he had a knee injury. Also, there's like limited spots on the trip.
Okay.
And I wanted to do a trip with everyone, you know, to kind of like bring it together, bringing her all around to the cliffhanger video.
Yep.
And then there was the Vans competition, what was it? Off the wall?
The circle?
The Huntington Beach. No, the Huntington Beach
Oh, Waffle Cup?
Waffle Cup. There it is. Vans Waffle Cup. So that contest, and Gaspar got invited to that because Gaspar rides for Vans. So
Yes.
I was like, all right, I got invited. Gaspar got invited. Denim lives there in California already.
Yeah.
All right, well, all the pieces are kind of there. Like, let's do a fucking trip. And we were going to do California, and Denim hates filming in California. So he's like, all the spots are blown out. It's boring. Like, no. And
Hell yeah.
stopped chatting. Eventually, it was like Denver. Like, all right, we're doing Denver.
Denver's
So looked into it.
loaded.
Yeah, and we were all gonna fly there, and then Denim was like, dude, he's like, I gotta bring my dirt bikes. He's like, I'm just gonna drive and meet you guys there. I was like, if you're gonna drive yourself, we'll all just drive with you. I'll fly the crew to California, and we'll just all
Perfect.
rip from there. So rented a truck, got 2 dirt bikes in there, all of our shit, picked up a Wes McGrath
Yeah.
up in
You said
LA.
picked up a West.
Picked up a Wes, dude.
Picked up a West. We love a
Crucial part of-
West.
Crucial part of the equation. And then I knew about Moab and like this spot you can ride BMX there. So I was like,
Sick.
dude, I was like, we can hit that along the way. I was like, this is gonna be worth it. Like, just going there is gonna be so sick for you guys. Like, I think there's a BMX team did go there back in the day. They just filmed like a couple clips here and there, and I was just like, we gotta go try and film out there.
You got shredded. What was it like? So in the video, somebody talks about like Denim. I think it was Denim. He's like, I got my motor, whatever the fuck. I got a bike with a motor, and then all these boys are pedaling around it, and there's no water. Was there really no water?
We brought a shitload of water and just drank it all. It was like, I tried to get the boys out. Like, we got there super late to the Airbnb the night before driving.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got to be up at like 5 in the morning, like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning. It's going to be really fucking hot out there. It's rough out there. You know?
Yeah.
And of course, everyone sleeps in, me included. I was tuckered out from the trip so far. Yeah, I think it was like 12 hours of driving from there, like maybe 6 hours.
It's exhausting.
6 hours.
Travel is tiring. Yeah.
And so then we slept in, and of course we got there for the hottest part of the day. So yeah, we're out there like pretty much all midday, and just, yeah, I don't know.
What was the most impressive part of being out in the Moab? Like, I think just BMX wise, the motocross shit is pretty wild too. But what was your favorite trick that got done out there on the rocks?
Dude, Gaspar, flare, and the down whip.
Yes.
Just Gaspar shot out there. And he's just like what he'd been to America, like I think a couple times. He'd only been to California. Yeah. So he's like,
What
he's
is
just
this
like,
place?
what the fuck is this? Like, we're riding BMX out here, and like
That's
his
so
face,
sick.
he's just like mind blowing. So
I
like,
love
it
that.
was amazing seeing him go out there and really shine. And yeah, we just cruise. I mean, it takes a lot. Like, it's mountain bike trails. It's not fucking meant for a brakeless BMX bike. So it's like
Yeah, no shit.
really hard to like get around. And like, I knew about
Yeah,
all the spots, not all the spots, but a decent amount of them that we went to. We didn't end up making the full loop.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, we just like looped around, rode some of the shit that I'd ridden there before when I was on a road trip. And uh yeah, just I don't know, it was sick. It
It
was
stands
crazy.
out. It was special.
Yeah, it's really special. It's really hard out there. Like, I mean, dude, denim at one point, it's in the video, and like you can see it, but you don't really see how gnarly this shit is, dude. Like, he's like on riding the dirt bike on top of this like crack thing, and it's like pretty much straight down. And at the bottom of this is like less angle, but still very angled. And about 15, 20 feet of down more is like a 200-foot, 300-foot death cliff. And he's like up there on the dirt bike, and I'm like, denim. Like, I like stop. I'm like, heart drops. I'm like, denim. Because he's fucking crazy, dude. I've
He
been on
really is crazy.
we'll be at a cliff jumping spot. They'll be like describing where and where not to jump, and he'll just be jumping already, like into the water. And I'm like,
He's a
Denim,
wild.
you're nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Denim, do not do this. And he's like, meh, meh. I'm like, Denim, do not. Like, I'm like a parent. I'm like, get down from there, Denim. Like, you are scaring me, bro. Like, why are you doing this? And he's just like, it'll be fine, dude. I'm like, please don't do it, dude. I'm like, we're not here to die. Like, if you go off that cliff, like, I mean, if his brakes malfunction, if he put a foot down, he's tumbling off that cliff.
Yes.
Sure. And he just fucking, of course, flawlessly, just goes down, stops casually. He's like, dude, I told you it was chill. And I'm just like, bro, don't ever fucking do that shit again.
Oh man, that's scary. That's classic denim though. I don't know, you don't get denim Cox clips without that crazy ass mindset, you know?
100%, man. And that shit was sick. Like, it's really rough and rugged. Like, you can't really tell. Like, some of it, some of it is like really smooth, but a lot of it is like cheese grater,
Yeah.
gnarly. Like, if you crash at all, you could get stitches.
Cut
You know?
up. Yeah.
And luckily, no one really crashed too bad. Like, people jumped off, and
Because if that's like one of the first things of the trip, that could suck, you know, if one of you guys got hurt. So
yeah.
then we only got 15 minutes left before you got to go. So let's talk about the fucking riding section in Denver. You guys destroyed it. Let's talk about, if I had to pick one thing to talk about, it would be the situation with the ledge that Denim grinded and
Chumbawamba.
Tumblewumba.
Chumbawamba.
Tell me about it.
So, well, a Chumbawamba is, I get knocked down and
Yeah,
I
but I
come
get up
again.
again.
So
Yeah.
Chumbawamba. I named ledges that do that or rails, they're called Chumbawambas. So
Nice.
if you have
Chumbawumbas.
a Chumbawamba in your town, go grind that shit for me, please.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we were driving to another spot, and I saw that shit out of the corner of my eye. I was like, oh, look at that Chumbawamba. And I was like, we got to go back to that thing. And like, we like ended up like going there, and Denim was hyped on it. And I was like, all right, bro, like, fucking dude, like, do it. Like, you got it, like, it's insane. It's like an 18 stair Chumbawamba. Like, it's deadly. It's
Yeah.
absolutely deadly. Like, where he had to hop on with his backpack. I mean, he had like half an inch of tire clearance because the rail would go down and then the
Yeah.
ledge would start, so like the rail's right there. I mean, you get bucked off and you die for sure.
Yeah.
And the other wall is right there,
Right.
So yeah, he gives her a couple goes, eats shit a couple times. I'm filming at the top. I'm just like, all right, you got it, you got it. And all of a sudden, like, I'm like looking out, and someone in the street, like Dust, is like, he's like, oh, like, Reed, we gotta go. And I was just like, oh yeah. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, all right, Dan. I'm like, let's get out of here. I think cops are coming. And like, I start walking, and they're like, no, the cops are here.
Ooh.
And like, the dudes inside this shop, like, they were watching us on the cameras and like called the cops as soon as we showed up and waited for the cops to get there.
Ooh.
And then walked out. So
kind
like,
of smart business owners.
we had nowhere to go, dude. I was like, oh fuck, this is a bad one. And the ledge was fucked up for sure. Like, it was definitely chunked up. I mean, it was a fucking, no one's walking down that staircase. Apparently, the city made them build that staircase for like no good reason, and they made the shop
like
pay for
code shit. Yeah.
but it was a brand new staircase. Like they just got done with it. So that's why he was extra pissed.
Yeah.
And they were just not going to let us get away without paying for it, or like at least like he wasn't even going to deal with us at all. He was like, this is a police thing. I don't even want to talk to you guys. You're dealing with the cops. That's damage to property. That's fucking, it was going to be like $10,000-$20,000
Sheesh.
to like redo the whole stair set, like to
Yeah.
pay the company to do it.
Who's handling the conversation with the cops?
Me and fucking Trent, and like Denham's kind of like sitting back, and I was like, dude, we can make spots beautiful, man. I was like, we do spot restoration. Like we fucking, I was like, bro, I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is really bad. I've been in some sticky ones with like business owners and shit. And like, where you're like, all right, I'll come back and paint the damn rail. I'll make it better. If you're that pissed, whatever. But this one I was like, no, he's pissed and this could be like really bad. So I just went into fucking bag mode, just like, please, like, yo, man, like we're here all week. We're not bad people. We do this for a living. I was like, we're gonna let us at least try. I was like, I like he is Denham Cox. If anyone is like the best construction worker ever, like
for real,
anyone is gonna make this spot look just like it was, it's gonna be him. Like he builds mini skate parks and shit out of cement. Like
yes,
surely he'll be able to patch a couple holes.
Dude, the clips of him carrying the cement is just being, dude, Denham is such a special human being. I love it. And then the montage of like squirting water and rubbing the bricks, and then it turned out brand new. I feel like the owner was impressed. He was like,
dude, the owner
what Denham did here is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody else coming back.
Yeah, no, he was stoked, man. He ended up being really cool. He was talking to me. He's like, he ended up actually coming out and like scraping the fucking ledge himself.
He was helping.
Like, it took like 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours, something like that.
Nice.
But we worked our ass off. We had to like rub brick all the black off and like patch all the holes. And yeah, he ended up just being like, he was like, dude, he's like, when you get, he was really sensible. The place was, I don't want to air out the place, but he was a very Christian guy, and he's like, man, he's like, when I was younger, I figured when I get older, like I'd like change. And he's like, man, like I'm older, like I'm still young, like the young person inside. Like I understand why you guys did this. I understand the appeal. I get it, and it's cool. But like, like I don't know.
There is the other side of it. Yeah.
Yeah, here's the other side of it. Is like this shit sucks. Like I paid all this money for this ledge, and the people who built the ledge fucked it up. Like the ledge itself was made out of fucking like shitty like foam.
Yeah.
Like he hired a shitty contractor, which also he was kind of like fuck. But like we ended up sending him a BSD hat for Christmas, dog.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. He was I'm actually in Denver now. I should go stop by and just be like, hey man.
Totally, dude. Get a picture with him at the spot.
But
I think that just shows like it's such a breath of fresh air versus the usual like shitty attitude towards security guards or like the disrespect towards business owners who come out and try and get you to leave. It's shut up, fuck you type shit. And it's just like to treat people with respect and come back and own and make it better. It's like, wow, I love that.
You're talking about picking people on the right team, like picking people for the team.
Yeah.
Like, shit like that, man. Like that shit don't fly. If I'm out with people, like, and you feel that, it's like, dude, why are you ramping this dude up? You really gonna fight this security guard? He gets paid fucking $10 an hour.
Yeah.
You're gonna blow out this spot and make it so no one can come here ever. Treat the people with respect, show them love, show them you're just having fun. If they really are irate, just fucking leave and come back when they're not there. Bring some lights, light up the spot, like preserve these spots, because there are a limited amount of spots in this world, and BMX is such a small thing. Like you want to leave people with a good taste in their mouth for BMXers.
For real, it's a good look, and I'm so happy.
It's important to like care about that shit, and like, I don't know. That's the energy I'm definitely trying to spread, and like especially with all this Try Again Foundation shit, like trying to build like the future to have more people like that, because BMX could be like an accepted thing. Like imagine the world was our skate park.
Right.
And more people like, fuck it. It's okay that shit looks all right with wax ledges or whatever. Like how sick would that be, dude?
Kind of like how it is in Barcelona. I feel like that's kind of how it is in Barcelona with like that one iconic spot that everybody rides. All right, hold on. We got 7 minutes left, dude. We got a hard out. Let's make the most of it.
We could do, hey, Bobby, if you're down, we could just do a part 2 when we actually have more time too, if you're down.
I know we will do part 2, but this will come out Monday, and then we'll do another one, a round 2.
All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a busy day.
No, it's no big deal. We both do. So, we got to get this one out of the way. Who's your Mount Rushmore? All-time BMX riders.
All-time BMX riders?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. First one popped in my head, dog. I mean, fuck. That's crazy. Well, dude, I can only
This
pick four,
fucking
right?
question. Yep. 4 people.
Ay, ay, ay. Fuck, man. This is really hard, dude.
It is.
Like can I explain my thought process here?
Yeah.
So, in my head, I'm like, all right, there's like Edwin De La Rosa, Tom White, Rat Kid, like that side,
That genre. Yeah.
that I like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Oh, it's just greatness over there. And then there's like Ruben, Taj, Joe Rich, that side.
Yep.
And then there's like Nathan Williams, Corey Martinez,
Garrett
that
Reynolds.
side.
Yeah.
Reynolds, fuck, dude.
Just gotta pick one. There's so
Dave
many different
Mira,
categories and shit. We were yeah.
Pat Casey,
Matt Hoffman.
Kevin Peraza, Matt
Yeah.
Hoffman, bro. Oh my god, how are you
It's
gonna make me
impossible.
choose right now, dude? Okay.
Oh man, you know what a fun one is that I did at the bar once with the homies was like Mount Rushmore of riders that you like but you can't stand watching them ride. That's a fucked up one.
It's fucked up. All right. Let's go with this. Okay, I'm gonna start with Ruben.
Good choice.
Ruben is how much he's changed in his riding career from doing double tail ups over box jumps to inventing the gap wall, essentially.
Yeah. True.
Insane. One of my favorite riders of all time for pure simplicity and pure savagery and setups, Tom White. Just, dude, I mean, he's been one of my favorite riders forever. Somebody actually commented on the cliffhanger video and was like, Denim Cox is the new Tom White. And I was like, that's just
the biggest compliment.
Oh man, I don't even know if Denim knows how much that means to me to hear that.
That's fire.
And then we're gonna go with probably gotta put Peraza up there.
He deserves it. He's fucking amazing.
What that man does for his community, BMX, his family, he is hands down one of the best humans on this earth.
Yep.
And how do I got one more?
Yep.
Peraza, Ruben, Tom White. Go with Rat Kid, man.
Nice. Mark Gralla.
Just because, dude, I mean, dude, the niche and the style, niche life, riding niches is one of my favorite things nowadays. And like his way of diving into niches is just so fucking awesome and beautiful. And the spots he finds, like, it's like spot hunting is really important to me, finding your own spots rather than just being taken to shit. And like he finds his spots,
Yes, he does.
And that I respect that so much.
The his Ender and AMPM was legendary. The feeble on the bench to curb wall ride, like what a setup. And then
dude.
You know what? Your clip in the cliffhanger video where you ride that interesting looking thing where I texted you about it, the pegs to ice down was so sick. I was just like the spot use, and it's like an almost unrideable spot. When you were like trying it, I was like, what is he doing? Is he gonna drop into the other side? But when you hit the ice and then look at the camera, I was like, dude, pumped, man. That shit was cool.
That took a really long time.
I believe it, man.
Up too. It was like running into a wall every time I hit the bank, and sometimes I hit the bank and just like blow up and lose all my speed and pop.
Dude, riding spots like that it looks cool and easy on camera, and then once you actually are doing it, it's like holy shit, like that's unbelievable.
Dude, yeah, it was that trip was amazing, man. Not every trip is so fruitful with amazing spots. Shout out to Dutz and Rob DeQuattro for definitely helping show us around. And
that is the spot guy in Denver for sure. He's the Don. I love that guy.
I honestly I want to come back out here and do another trip out here because there's so much we didn't touch that we want. And like
it's infinite, man. I was out there for like 3 or 4 days last time I went out there, and the spots that I saw, I was just like, wow. It's just the schools, the everything in between, blah blah blah.
I think I'm gonna bring out the whole crew next time though, whole BSD crew.
You'd like
badass
and
dudes and fucking
BSD in Denver, and then find your own shit. What's your favorite part of a BMX trip? The whole experience.
All the shit that you do not on the bike.
Yeah,
You know,
love that. Yeah,
we went like tubing down a river.
sick,
Just like, yeah, going and like I always make sure that we involve extracurricular activities, going to like a bar and like playing games and stuff like that. Like
sick.
I'm
Yeah,
playing cornhole. Dude, we were riding a spot and this lady like came out and fucking like saw it from her apartment and she was like, "That's so cool." And she brought Denim a beer and then she invited the whole crew up and we went and kicked it on her fucking balcony, like
nice.
inside his house, and just like moments like that are just like priceless, you know? Like I out of all the BMX trips I've gone on in my life, like I always remember, like you never really remember the clip, you
Yeah,
know,
it's the
or
non
like this,
BMX
like,
stuff that
yeah, you'll
happens.
remember all the non BMX stuff, and that's
Yeah,
just moments with the people you love, and that's just priceless.
that's huge. What is your most important like setup on your bike? What do you like if you had to if somebody handed you a bike, I don't know, what's the most crucial element for you in terms of like having your bike set up? What is do you understand? Does that make sense as a
Yeah,
question?
yeah. I my frame was a game changer. Like the new Safari frame. It's like the longest, I'm pretty sure it's the longest front end with the shortest back end available on the market.
Nice.
And that thing has made it so it's made my riding so much different of just like how I can ride and what I can ride and how it feels to ride and like whip around spins and stuff like that.
Sick.
Like I have room for my knees. Like, dude, I hated that my whole life. Like
Because we're
having my
tall,
knee,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
jamming my knees on my fucking stem. Like
Yeah.
I want room up there
Yeah.
and then still
But
be able to
still
win.
be able to spin. Yeah.
Yeah, and that dude, that frame setup totally changed my shit up. So I'd say right now that's probably
Dope.
that or plastic pegs, because plastic pegs, I used to hate plastic pegs. You can grind everything, dog.
Yeah, it
Like
opens up a whole new
I
world.
want to be able to grind everything. So
The
plastic
only
pegs,
thing that's
definitely.
missing, they need to make plastic pegs that sound like metal pegs.
Yeah,
Uh,
oh, man. That's a good idea.
let's see. What's your favorite feeling trick?
Diving into a niche.
Nice.
I used to say the switch feeble easy 180. Love that one, but dude, diving into a niche, dude, high speed gap into a niche, front tire, back tire. But
Yep.
oh man,
That feels good.
even or if it's a nice like carving a
Yes.
street vert wall, also a really
Beautiful.
best.
The way you rode that Jersey barrier and cliffhanger is very impressive.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, we talked about all this shit. Last one we'll do is put me on 2, 3, or 4 riders that I don't know about that I should know about.
Ooh. Ooh, there's this dude out of New Orleans.
What's his name?
Justin. Yeah, I'm sure you know about Brandon Guthrow. Brandon
Yeah,
Guthrow.
yeah, yeah. I
Fuck.
know about him through Brock.
Justin Scott, dude.
Justin Scott.
This guy,
Justin Dot
Justin
Scott.
Scott, the try again jam we threw, the launch jam in New Orleans, he actually won. He's already sponsored by Stranger, but he won a bike and he ended up giving it to his homie.
Nice. I am already following him. Cool. Shout out Justin Scott.
So that one doesn't count then, huh?
Well, I honestly didn't, it didn't ring a bell, so
Justin Scott's really sick. That dude in the fuck, I don't even what's his name. Oh my god. Dude he did a levitator grind to manual 180 in the Denver video
Mhm.
down that ledge. You know what I'm talking about?
What's his name?
I don't fucking know. God, why can't I think about it? Oh, this is rough. Well, that dude rips.
Okay, we'll figure out who it is
Really
after.
sick.
Sure,
The
it's in the
name I should
credits or
know
something.
about too, I guess. Um, who else? Who are some BMXers who you don't know about?
I love this question because then I see some talent all around the world.
Yeah, this is a really good question, dude. Wow. Man, I'm like trying to like think of areas, like put myself in
Yeah,
different
yeah.
areas. Uh,
Florida, Seattle, California. There's riders everywhere.
dude, there's so many riders
Europe.
everywhere.
Man, there's some killers in Europe right now.
Bro, Europe. Oh man.
Like learning about Santi Verde, even though he's already like pretty recognized. I was like, oh my god, I love this kid. And then this new one, Kai, what's his name? Kai, dude, he's just Kai Brisebois. Brisebois. I don't know. He's just banging his bar ends on shit. He's doing a like bunny hop bar spin to land with his bar end tapping a vertical pole. It's fucking wild.
Well, dude, I guess Tam. Do you know about Tam Rules?
Roaston?
Yeah,
Tam Roaston. Yeah.
He's on BSD. He's probably one of my favorite new riders. I mean, he's been riding for a long time, but he's on BSD and
he's getting recognized. Yeah.
He's been staying in Austin for like 2-3 months, and that boy can grind a rail like no other. He is one of the wildest street shredders in the game, and like you're gonna see him come out with some crazy heavy shit. So I'd say keep an eye on Tam.
Yeah.
Tam and fuck. I mean, obviously you know about Grant Uby. The first
those are good.
Top of my head were like Tam, Trent, and Grant Uby. You know,
that's
what I mean?
a new wave, dude. Yeah, it's wild.
Those boys obviously fucking they're killing it. They're gonna
I was texting Trent yesterday. Good job on the edit. And he was like, dude, I remember when I was a kid watching Sabrosa in Albuquerque over and over again. And I was like, because he said it means a lot coming from you. And I was like, holy shit. It's weird that you were a kid when I was making those videos. It's so trippy, dude. Generations, you know? It's wild. Yeah.
Oh, also Curly Man. Curly Man has dropped too much shit, but Curly is fucking really sick. I want to get him on more trips and fucking show the world what he can do. He's definitely one of the. He's only dropped like one video part. It's in the Bush Heavy Boys DVD.
Okay, I gotta watch that.
He did like a roof gap in Austin into this bank thing that like I guess like Sean Burns even like didn't want to do.
Cool.
Like many pros have went to, and like it's a spot right off the highway that a bunch of people have seen, and he ripped that, and he's like one of the steeziest dudes on a bike. So
all right, I'm gonna watch Bush Heavy Boys, and then lastly, what are you about to go do right now?
I am going to go host a Kendama jam at a Boogie T pre-party in Denver.
Sick, dude. All right.
I'm out here supporting Boogie T is playing Red Rocks this weekend. So him, and then he's got his band Boogie Trio with my boys Frankie and Yano. They're super sick. So yeah, I just flew up here to go get my first Red Rocks experience and host this Kendama jam at this bar.
Fuck yeah.
Teach a bunch of people spikes and fucking spread the love.
I love, dude, when you give them the spin and then just say do it, and then they do it and they go, ah.
Oh,
it's an amazing feeling. You're spreading hype all around the world, Reed.
Yeah, bro. You gotta spread the love and fucking show people how to use these tools, man. They're just sitting there idling, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Any last words before we wrap it up?
Fuck, man. Thank you so much for interviewing me. Shout out all my sponsors. Fucking BSD, Smoke Flower. Go check out Smoke Flower Apparel. They're sick as fuck out of California. Sweets Kendamas, raw superfoods. Take your superfoods, plants basically. Very important to keep up on that health shit.
Yep.
Follow Try Again Foundation. Maybe we'll be coming to a city near you and throwing a jam.
At Try Again Foundation?
Yep, at Try Again Foundation.
I'm coming for you. Let's go.
Yeah, shout out Etnies for always keeping my feet laced up. Fucking yeah, man. I don't know.
That's it.
That's it, man. You know,
we're doing another one soon.
Yeah, let's do. Honestly, man, like I feel like this one was definitely super rushed. I'm not gonna hop on another one soon. I'm sorry for being so fucking.
Nothing to apologize for, man. It is what it is. We'll do it again in a couple of weeks or even next week as soon as we can. And we'll have Reed Stark episode 2 coming out soon. But for now, this is dropping Monday, and I had a good time. I think people listening will also have a good time. So everybody have a good week, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Reed.
Much love, Bobby. Thank you, y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun. It was a shorter episode, so we're going to bring him back on as soon as possible. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one next week on Monday. Leave a comment of who you would like to see. Reed, thanks for coming on, and I hope you guys have a good week. Goodbye.